I'm Beth Guckenberger, and this is the Reckless Faith Podcast. I'm here today with Rob Hall, my longtime friend and colleague at Back to Back Ministries. Rob, thanks for joining us.
As usual, it's great to be here. Day 15 today. One missed shot, yes, to trying again. This is kind of a foundational story for you way back, long time ago when you were in high school and your dad taught you a really great lesson.
Yeah, and I look back at and realize as he was trying to, desperate for me to not feel bad about what had happened when I missed a shot in an important basketball game, which was, really very much the end of my basketball career, that not too long after that. Some people might listen to that story and think that he was being unkind or that he was rubbing my mistake in my face. And although for me, I got the message the way he intended it, I was thinking later, like, man, it's not easy to be a parent. It's not easy to look for teachable moments. It's not easy to be on your feet and make space and time to make sure in the emotion of whatever that's going on that you take the opportunity to imprint and impress on the child's heart what's important.
I never got a chance to meet your dad, but and your mom is amazing. You tell lots of great stories about your mom as well. But I know your dad played a really special role in developing your faith, and this story was kind of one of those spontaneous moments that continues to live on in your life.
Yeah, he wanted me to see that which I was capable of. And I think I have had, since that basketball game, 1,000+ opportunities to feel like I'm not going to be very good at this the first time, or I just messed up, I'm never going to do that again.
Yeah.
Or
I failed at something that I thought I was good at, or I was good at it, didn't work out. There's plenty of those kind of stories.
Thousands of those experiences. And I think as an adult, he knew that those were in my horizon, that I was going to try things I wasn't good at. I was going to take some practice. I was going to mess up at things that were important to me. And I think he really wanted me to hear inside of me, like where I could have healthy self-talk later on. Just keep trying and don't forget what it is that you're capable of. And that, that's become an important part of just how I embrace life.
It's an interesting thing because now you have a house full of athletes.
Yes, I do. And that's why I give him lots of grace if he did the right thing or the wrong thing. Because I know that after, certain sporting events, you're never quite sure. Do you just talk about the things that you saw them do really well and be supportive? Do you point out the things that that they're thinking about, the moments when they dropped a shot or fumbled the ball? Because they're thinking about it. Why not talk about what they're thinking about? But you don't want to draw attention to the thing. Like I get all of that.
And I can imagine the temptation sometimes is to make everything a lesson.
Yeah.
And not everything and not every time is the right time for a lesson. So kind of understanding the nuances of when is the right time, that can be tricky. Your dad did it in your life, but now you're on the other side trying to figure that out.
Yeah, parenting is absolutely an art because sometimes not saying things then allows you, when it's time to say something, to have a louder voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I wrote a blog a couple of years ago called 5 Things I'm Taking from the Mission Field to the Football Field. At that particular fall season, I found myself in 3 different levels of football games, watching them pretty much every night of the week. And I remember thinking, as different as the bleachers of an American football stand is from a children's home in Mexico, it's actually not. There's more similarities than there are differences. It's God's heart for the lost and the people that are around me, my desire to connect, my ability to use my day and the moments in my day to make a difference for him. Like I can remember thinking through, I'm not off of mission when I'm sitting in the bleachers of a football game. I'm just as much on as I am when I'm actively doing service.
Yeah, and this day is about, when we get to the action, about writing down 10 strengths, right? And so whether you're on a football field or the mission field or wherever, speaking into the lives of kids like your dad spoke into your life then is not only about, hey, you didn't do something right, but sometimes, as we talked about earlier, it's you're really good at this, or this is a strength of yours, and how can I speak into that? That's universal language regardless when you're interacting with kids.
And just remembering that the point of that day's challenge is just, we sometimes discount ourselves. Like, I'm not don't really have anything to offer. I'm not really that good at anything. I mean, other people are better at than me. And I used to kind of think that about, but you have that internal negative self-talk that excuses you from a story that God might want you to step into, and you instead block yourself by thinking you don't have what it takes. And I think I wanted people to, in the privacy of their own journal, in the privacy of their own thinking, thought life, and prayer time, to say, Lord, you actually did give me some strengths, and where is it that you want to use that which you gave me for your glory?
Yeah, the action for day 15, yes to trying again, is write down 10 strengths God has given you and say a prayer of thanksgiving for them. Think about how God might be able to use your strengths to fulfill the purpose he has for your life.
I just want us to realize that he made me in a particular way. He made me in a particular way because Psalm 139 says, every one of my days is ordained before any of them came to be. If this is what he put in my package, if this is what I have in my basket, it doesn't matter if other people can do it better. It doesn't matter if I've messed up before. I am to offer what he has given me every day for all the days of my life.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, if you have Reckless Faith, a 40-day journey to saying yes, we hope that this podcast keeps you focused on having meaningful conversations today, obviously with God and also with others. To do this with someone else, like if you haven't done that already, buy the book for somebody else if they don't have it. And it just sparks great conversations over coffee or after dinner or whatever, right? So these are not just meant to be done you individually with God. It's great to do them in a community of other people.
Makes you vulnerable. Like for me to share with you 10 things I think that God has gifted me in, I have to be pretty vulnerable to do it. And that just binds relationship.
Yes, and the opportunity then for me to speak into those, say, yes, I've seen that in you. It's just a much more powerful way than even doing it by yourself. If you're here and you haven't yet gotten a copy, you can find it on Amazon, or for the book and other resources, visit backtoback.org/40 days. That's BACK, the number 2, BACK.org/40 days.
Oh, I just want to thank you for being on this journey towards a more reckless faith. And until next time.